Монголын засгийн чуулган үзэгч та бүхэнд шууд үргэлжлэн хүрсээр байна. Бид яг одоо Greca Group-ийн төлөөлөлд удирдах зөвлөлийн дарга ноён Randeep Singh Grewalтай ярилцах гэж байна. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
How was the day? How was the forum today?
Busy, very busy and very exciting.
How many sessions have you participated or seen?
Two.
Two, okay.
Well, since the morning. We were there obviously for the Prime Minister's address, but I've myself participated in two.
Is it your first time in Mongolia?
No, not my first time, but first MEF, first Economic Forum.
So you must know Mongolia quite well then, right?
Not quite. Does anyone? I'm not sure, but we certainly don't. We're trying to learn as fast as we can.
So I would like to ask about Greca Group's planning in Mongolia. What are the future collaborations and possibilities you're aiming to do in Mongolia?
So look, we want to bring to Mongolia our 30-year track record in doing something very important, which is producing water, clean water, that is embedded within the coal that is deep. So this is not coal that is mined. There's deeper coal, 400, 500 meters deep, which has very rich water content. So our entire technology is to drill into that coal, just like you drill an irrigation well, produce the clean water, and give it to the community for free. As the water is produced, gas seeps out behind it sequentially. So the water molecule comes first, and then a bit of gas comes out. That gas we trap, we capture that gas, and now you can have heat, power, transportation fuel. Everything's available to you in terms of domestic energy. So we're very excited about bringing our technology to Mongolia to provide Mongolia its energy growth. So you have a structure today, you use what you use today. We want to be part of the growth trajectory to give a clean energy source, sequential to a production of clean water, which is very much needed to all the nomadic lifestyle that is across Mongolia.
Speaking about gas, Greca Group has entered gas in China for 30 years. Could you please give us some information about that history experience?
Well, when I started in China in 1992, there was no gas industry in China. It was all coal-based. So here we are, it's deja vu several decades later. It's a lot younger then, I'm still young now, but just a lot later.
Of course you are.
It's exactly the same, right? So here you have identical conditions to what I saw when I started working in China using our technology. We started and built our technology in Colorado in the US. We brought that into China in the early 90s. Today, China has 40% domestic production coming from exactly the same application that we created. We want to do the same thing here. So in China, the gas industry is now mature. It's a great transitional field. So you may one day want to get to zero emissions by going to something along the renewables sector. But to go from coal, you can't leapfrog to renewables. The transitional fuel is what we produce, which is CH4. A CH4 molecule, a methane molecule, again, which is an unconventional resource within the coal. So you produce clean water, you then produce the methane, and the coal stays in place. In the future, if the government decides to mine that coal is safe to mine. So we actually make the coal safer to mine in the future. But in the interim, you get this great clean water resource. So think about, I think I've learned a new Mongolian word called urtu.
Urtu, okay.
Urtu, right? And centuries ago, urtus were every 60 kilometers apart.
Yes, they
during
were.
the Mongolian Empire. We're talking about reinventing urtus. That's exactly what we're going to do, is to rebuild those urtus every 60 kilometers apart that are clean water source, but they're also releasing energy, an energy that can be used for heat and power, and importantly, CNG transport fuel for your cars and trucks.
So to reach Greca's goal in Mongolia, what are the obstacles you're facing? And also, in your opinion, how can you solve it? What are the ways to solve it?
So first of all, our objective is to transfer our technology know-how directly to the local Mongolian companies that we will joint venture with. So in the midst of concluding about 6 different joint ventures, possibly 7, for the different aspects of our business. That's going extremely well. We're very happy with everything that we see. Once those are done, our focus will be on one thing, which is the investment agreement with the government. We must have stability because our projects are 10, 15, 20, 30 years long. They take a long time to continue to provide. So we're not looking for something, we're not traders, we're hard asset developers. We're producers of domestic energy and clean water. For that to happen, we must have a stable working environment. And that stability is not just government stability, but a contractual economic stability that one can say these are the parameters under which we will invest capital, we will develop this, and here's how we will get our return over the next several decades. So the answer to your question is investment agreement. And so far what we can say, we're very excited with the coalition government approach. We think that's a great platform to get through investment agreements faster. So as we've heard from others, there hasn't been one signed since Rio Tinto many years ago. We hope on the heels of others being negotiated, we can come forward with an investment agreement.
We just had our parliamentary election a week ago. So, of course, what do you expect from Mongolia's new government?
Diversity and an inclusive environment where everyone has a voice and a mechanism to channel that voice into cabinet. So previously you had a majority. We're familiar with many jurisdictions because we are cross-jurisdictional. We work in many countries around the world. So we're quite familiar with different processes. But what's exciting about what just happened in Mongolia, which is exciting that we're here to witness it, I actually physically saw the Prime Minister sign that document within the three parties. That was very exciting. So you've got now a coalition government. You've got the best platform you can ever have. And every one of the 3.5 million Mongolians has a channel directly through their parliamentary rep, directly into the cabinet. It's very exciting.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Үзэгчдээ бид Greca Group-ийн төдийд удирдах зөвлөлийн дарга ноён Randeep Singh Grewalтай ярилцлаа.